Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephanie, and if you're here for the first time, welcome. I am a rescue dog mom, or a dog mom to two gorgeous rescue dog boys. One is a Staffordshire Bullterrier Cross and the other one is a deaf Wadi Dog puppy from Oman. I got my coffee here. Love this, by the way. Being a dog mom is rough. So this video today is more a talking video, so I will most likely blend in some b-roll for my dogs, but it's just me and, as I said, some b-roll videos for you today. And today's video, you most likely will have read the title, so you know already what this is all about. However, I still feel like there is like so much stigma around. Staffies are generally bully breeds, so I thought I would do a video about what was most surprising for me after adopting a Staffordshire Bullterrier Cross. I say cross, and this is a quick disclaimer because my boy, he's a rescue dog. I did a DNA test and he is mainly Staffy, so he's mainly an English Staffy. However, there's bits and bobs mixed in, so he's not a purebred Staffy. But what I talk about, like all the traits, all the behaviors, basically their personality or breed specific characteristics, are also true for actually all of the Staffy friends we have. So I think if you are a bully owner, or like a Staffy owner in my case, you know, you get in touch with other people who have similar breeds. You might know this from yourself if you have a certain type of dog and you know, they tend to get along and you tend to like the people you know, hang out with, like kind of like people who are like you or who also like the same breed. So we have loads of purebred pedigree Staffy friends, and everything I mention here is true for my boy, but it's also true for all of our Staffy friends, even the purebred ones. Also, I hope that this video might give some clarity about what our Staffies like, what are they really like, because I know that there's sometimes this picture of, oh my god, a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, you know, oh my god, they are scary looking dogs or whatever. And I mean, I totally do not understand where this is even coming from. Here in the UK, they're like obviously super incredibly popular, but also in other parts of the world they are a popular breed. Yes, unfortunately there are some idiots who, you know, mistreat these dogs, as there is with like so many other breeds. So without no fault of their own, in my opinion, they are sometimes victim to breed specific legislation, and I'm happy to do a video about this you know, at another time. But yeah, so maybe if you're thinking about getting a Staffy, or you know, ever wondered what are they really like, what it's like to live with them, here is what surprised me most and what I also absolutely totally love and adore about Staffordshire Bull Terriers. And the first thing is, and I think this is, well, it wasn't really new for me, but I think it's quite surprising for people who have never really met a Staffy in their life, and who have just like this picture of them like, oh my god, they are like, you know, these like bully breeds and they're quite bulky, so you know, you have to be like really strict with them and dominant and whatever. They are softer than you think, and there's even a hashtag about it, softer than you think, because they are. You know, you might look at them and you might think, oh my god, that's a really, you know, tough looking dog, or I don't actually really know why would people think that, because they're like proper English Staffies are quite tiny dogs, aren't they? Like they're quite small dogs. But you know, like they are like usually like a bit chunky, they might walk like this. I always say like my dog looks like he's right out of the gym. They're quite muscular. So, you know, people might, well, so in fact, when we got my boy, you know, we had family over from Germany, and the kind of like the stereotypical thinking was, you have to be really strict with them and you have to be like quite dominant and like, you know, like not like, well, maybe a bit tough, I guess. And the truth is, and I'm so grateful for Rambo having taught me this right up from the start, because obviously you have, every dog has their own personality, but I think with him, due to his past and his emotional sensitivity, he was quite prone to getting stressed when, you know, someone was shouting at him, or if I would be like shouty or whatever. So, you know, for him, he reacts best if it's, you know, friendly, if it's generally like playful, if it's very loving. And I think this is generally how we should treat our dogs, but I think especially for this breed, you know, you see if you go like anywhere on social media, you would see like people like holding the leash like this, you know, like, oh, my dog is so strong, like with like a bully. And yes, of course, I think with every dog, you want to train with them, you want to establish routines, you want to help them make better choices, and you want to reinforce the good choices. You know, I always say like good choices get good treats. You know, a dog makes a really great choice, he gets a really great high value treat for this. Or in Rambo's case, like loads of praise, because he loves like the praise. Moving away from the stigma, I feel there is, and moving towards to the soft beings they are. Yes, any dog. I'm totally for training dogs, and I'm totally for doing this in a positive way. However, I feel like especially with like bully breeds, they are like one of the most emotionally intelligent dogs I have ever met. For example, Rambo, if someone like who's close to me or someone we really know well just breathes out heavily or tells me a story and gets like a bit like emotional, not like heavily emotional, but just, you know, when people get a bit emotional when it's like something happened to them and they think about a time, you know, nothing major, he will make sure they are okay. Like, he is that emotionally sensitive. He is that empathetic. So I think to me, like, this was something that was quite surprising, because I always had dogs when I grew up, and none of them were like, well, I say like caring as much. So for me, this was like really interesting, and it's one of the main reasons why I love them. And so many of my friends who have either Staffy crosses, or like other bully breeds, were like, oh my god, yeah, my dog is like really, you know, emotionally intelligent too. And it's quite interesting. So they're definitely softer than you think. I think it just shows how emotionally intelligent and sensitive Staffys can be, and I just love them. Like, yeah, to me, like, they're anyways like amazing. And the point I was making is really they are softer than most people think. And you know, I think this is really important when getting a Staffy, to keep this in mind when training them. Then one thing, and I'm pretty sure that if you have ever met a Staffy, they are the ones who are tail wagging. They are the ones who just want to love you so hard. They come towards you, they are more or less like in your face, giving you doggy slobbery kisses. And the level of positive energy they have, like, towards people, I mean, obviously also most of them like towards dog, or loads of them towards dogs, but especially towards people, like this happiness, this pure enthusiasm, and the affection, and plenty of slobbery doggy kisses. I think this is something that is very Staffy like. They might be prone to jumping because they want to lick your face, so they might jump up. However, they are just often, you know, pure bundles of love. And I have never, ever, ever in my entire life had a dog who is as affectionate as my Staffy cross. And I totally love him for this. Like, it just makes me so happy. As you might know, most dogs don't like to be hugged. For them, it's like kind of weird. We hug them, even if we totally do want to do this. Rambo is the one who comes, like, not just like sits close to me, but like sits between my legs and really wants to be hugged. He's the one who snuggles up to me. If he can, he's like under my divvy. He's like literally always having body touch. He needs just so much warmth. He just needs so much love, and he gives just so much love. He's always tail wagging. Not always like just super happy. Sometimes also this, if it's a bit, you know, like further down, it's because it might be a bit like scary. But even if he's a bit scared of people, it's with a positive, friendly attitude. He's not aggressive at all. Like, so he would not be like, you know, my way to any person, but he's like, hey, let's be friends. And, you know, make sure he would give them a kiss, maybe even hold their arm, and he would never ever hurt anyone. He's like the sweetest boy in the world. If he could, he would be a lap dog. He would be on your lap. And yeah, they are like totally affectionate, and they are just like the sweetest cuddlebugs ever. One thing I mentioned earlier, like when training Staffys, I think is also amazing, is that they are like really keen on pleasing you. So they really want to get the attention. They want to get positive attention. They are super keen to work. They're super keen to do something for treat, a ball, or whatever it might be that gets your dog going. And you know, they just want it to be fun. They're enjoying it. They're just generally like really fun dogs, and even training them is so much fun. And having said that, my boy was already 6 years old when I got him. He had an attention span that was like literally that long, like that's it. So I just needed to get some more light in because it got a bit dark. Yeah, so he had like a really like limited, like narrow attention span because he never really got out, so everything was really new. He was like super distracted from everything. And we played games, and it was like amazing what it did for him. So for him, this like, you know, like all the fun training that where it's really like fun for him to be with me, to focus on me, to help build our bond is amazing. And it worked so well. And with him, if I praise him, like I can do so much with just purely voice. He's actually quite picky about treats, so treats were not the thing that would, you know, keep him going. Having said that, if I have like, for example, pure chicken or like liver paste in my pocket, yes, he's like, I choose you. However, even without any treats, if you would get like verbal praise and, you know, just like a well done, good boy, like a, you know, like a happy voice, a happy marker, he is in it. It's just so much fun to train your Staffy because they want to please, they're eager to please. They are fun dogs. They are kind of like sometimes even a bit like clownish. They're like so freaking cute. And you know, it's just a pure pleasure to train. And even a 6-year-old rescue dog who has never been trained before, I was able to train him. He's off leash most of the time. He's off leash in the streets. We cross. I always make sure he's safe, but he would literally stop in front of any crossing. He walks here whenever I tell him to. He's always, he checks in with me no matter where we go. Even if it's like a nice, interesting new forest, like a new place where he's like super excited to be, he would always make sure he has his close proximity to me. He would check in with me. He always waits till I go. If he's unsure about any situation with like whatever dog or anything, he checks in with me so I can trust this dog. You might have seen the shot I just uploaded a few days ago. He would literally walk with me into our coffee shop. So he would be like super cute, like queuing to get his treats. So everyone is like waiting for their coffee. And my dog is like literally not next to me, but like in front of me queuing. So he gets his treats first before I give my coffee. And he would just patiently wait. Other dogs would jump up on the counter. He would just like wait, sit there and stare at people like, and it's just like the cutest. So if you know they would throw it at him, he would catch it, but also they could just give it to him. He would be like the gentlest boy in the world, and well, he still is, but we no longer go there. And the other dogs would like jump up on the counter, do counter surfing, whatever. And the first time actually, in fact, we went to the coffee shop and met a doggy friend of ours, and it's a French bulldog. She counter surfed, and my dog was just like, what's she doing? Is that okay? Like, he was like, just like so freaking cute, like just totally confused, massively bamboozled. Like, why is this dog jumping up there? So yes, training them is really fun. You can make it so much fun, and I think you will have a really fab time training your Staffordshire Bullterrier and building a proper bond, and then afterwards enjoying loads of like snuggles and stuffy kisses. One thing I think is also to keep in mind is being in the UK here, Staffies are like super popular. So English, I mean there's like an American Staffordshire Terrier they're called, and there's their like English Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And in the UK, like as I said, like the English Staffy, like the English Staffordshire Bull Terrier, is a super popular breed. They were called nanny dogs here because they were like so great with children too. However, being German, and this is something I think to keep in mind, because if you live in a country where you have a dog breed that is super popular, you might not be aware of legislation outside of your country. So I'm going to mention this. So there's some countries where you might be restricted with traveling with your Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Or they might need to put on a muzzle and be on leash, or not be allowed for moving to a country. So I researched, and I came across this. I researched, bringing my dog to Germany for holidays. And so there is, like, obviously if you go, for example, to Germany, there's ICE, it's like the fast train. You would have certain rules for every dog on that train. However, there's like a legislation, or like a classified breeds. It's basically breed discrimination, where it says these breeds are classified as super dangerous, or like as dangerous, and for them there's different rules than for other dogs. And a Staffordshire Bull Terrier would be on the same category as, for example, a Pit Bull. I don't really know who put them there and why, and to me it doesn't make any sense, because quite frankly, there's other breeds like Black Labradors can be super cocky and quite aggressive, but also like German Shepherds, etc. They are not as dangerous, or like classified, and then it can also change depending on which region you're in, etc. So this is just something to keep in mind, depending on where you want to go, which country. Check if the dog is banned there. Check if the stuff is on the list, because unfortunately they're quite on quite some lists. So one of the reasons why, for example, I didn't go to Oman with my husband is because Rambo's breed was put on the list of banned breeds to bring into the country. So it does not necessarily mean that the breed is banned in the country, but importing them into a country might be banned. So yes, this would be, I think, definitely something to be aware of when getting a Staffy, and depending on where you are in the world. If you're in Germany, for example, to me, like, it doesn't make any sense, but there's legislation, so you might want to look into this before getting a Staffy or any other bully breed, or breeds that can be classified as potentially dangerous. Yes. There are countries where it's different. So there are countries where there might be a dangerous dog list. However, then this might be for dogs who are actually dangerous. So it's not discriminating against like breeds, just like because basically they're born in with the breed category, but because they have done something that does classify them as dangerous, if that makes sense. So for example, they have bitten someone, or however this is being classified. But so this is not the topic for today. It's just something I think is important to mention, because depending on where you are, it might just be something you might not be aware of, but I think it's important to be aware of, and to think it through before getting a bully breed, before getting a Staffy. If you're interested in this, I can do a separate video about, like all these things, and BSL, breed specificalization, etc. So if this is something you're interested in, but the main part of this video is to say how fabulous Staffys are, and to me, I just love them. I totally and utterly adore them. I love them, and whenever I see a Staffy with a wagging tail, I have to ask the owner if it's appropriate, if I'm allowed to say hello, because just love them. And I love my boy to pieces. I love both of my boys, obviously, but I always say Rambo has been my first dog, and like my first own dog, and he is my life. Like, this boy is truly amazing, and yes, to me they are amazing dogs. If they are the right dog for you, I don't know, and I truly think we need to choose a dog that does fit to us, where we are a good match for one another. Rambo is definitely 100% my perfect match, and I love him. For me, he's definitely the right breed. If for you Staffy would be right, I don't know, but maybe this gave you a good starting point for your own research. Oh, by the way, if you're, for example, in the UK, probably also somewhere else in the world, you will find quite a lot of Staffy crosses, Staffies, also X-Racer Greyhounds, but I mean today is about Staffies. Unfortunately, you will find a lot of these dogs in shelters, so maybe that's a good starting point for you too. As you know, I'm a big fan of rescue dogs anyways, but also maybe to volunteer, or to get to know them a bit better, to get to understand them, to interact with them if you might not have an own dog, or can have an own dog, or don't want an own dog. But this might be a good starting point. Or if you see someone with a Staffy, most likely they will be happy to say hello to you, please do check with the owner first if it's okay and if it's appropriate to say hello, because I think running up to dogs are not like public property. So I think, it's always the right, the polite and the friendly thing to do to ask for permission before petting a dog. That's it for today, and I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing, then please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you very soon. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.